Happy Monday, everybody. I had 100 and some people watch the video yesterday, so I thought must have amused some people, so we'll just go on with it again today. It's Monday, and my day so far has been spent out among my Amish friends. If you don't know what I do, I work with a lot of my Amish craftsman friends here, and that's what my business is. So I've seen Joe at his wood shop where we talked about a wormy poplar wood that we're using that was in Larry's garage to make into a really cool kitchen table with cedar legs on it. It'll be coming along in a couple weeks for our kitchen. We'll be able to seat 10 or 12 people around it, so that's exciting. And I've been to see Sam and Mary at the leather shop and do some business planning there with them, and also ran into my friends Levi and Jessica while we were out running around, and Rich Tinkle, and just a lot of good people out doing their business. People mostly staying home, stay safe, and but people out doing some of the essential things that they need to do. And we're pretty rural here. You can run around on our back roads for hours and just see 4 or 5 people. So that makes it a little easier during these health concern times. Had people write in yesterday and say all kinds of things. Some silly. Grant requested that I teach my puppies to sing harmony with me, and my son Colin suggested that be on a Beatles song. If we can work that out, we will. If I'm going to teach those dogs to sing, I may need Sally's help. She's a music educator friend of mine, so we may be recruiting her for some assistance. I thought we might talk about some of the people said they sang along yesterday, and Joni even made a request that I sing an old hymn every day. I may try to do that some and mix in some other just secular classics also. But all of that got me thinking about ways that we can help inspire each other and have fun during this kind of downtime for us. My buddy Larry, we've been best of friends like brothers for 30-some years, and he likes to look up meaningful quotes, and a lot of those are about light and life. I remember during some dark days that we all walked through together a few years ago that he liked to text in the morning and say, "It's a bright, bright, sunshiny day." Bright, bright, sunshiny day from that old song. And it is today here in Indiana. It's a great sunshiny day outside. A lot of ladybugs flying around my windows, but aside from that, it's great to watch the fat cardinals run around, and even saw a pileated woodpecker this morning knocking around on one of the big walnut trees that we have a ton of here on our property. So that's a lot of fun and a good sign of spring. I got to thinking about one of my very first songs that I ever learned was a song by Bobby Vinton, and we used to listen to it on our old great big stereo record player that my mom and dad had, and it was a song called Little Barefoot Boy. And I brought that up to my mom a few weeks ago, and she actually found the old record that we used to listen to, Bobby Vinton's Little Barefoot Boy. You can see there that it's barefoot like a kid that has no shoes. The trouble was, when I was a little kid, I thought that they were talking about a kid that had bare feet, like off the bear in the woods, like maybe Bigfoot's son kind of person. What happened to that little barefoot boy? And I was a little concerned that they couldn't find that kid running around in the woods. But a few years later, I kind of realized it was just about a kid that had bare feet and was running around playing, and now he's grown up and they can't find that little barefoot boy. So we're all growing and moving. That reminds me also that one of the first musical influences in my life was my Aunt Mary Frances. She was married to my father's brother, Ansel, and she was a kind, thoughtful, and fun aunt that used to babysit me a lot, and she had about half a cup of silliness stirred into her. She was really kind of silly at heart, and she had one thumb that had been, I think, crushed in a car door, and it would just stay just like that all the time. So when she would play the piano, she had 9 correct notes and one that kind of clunked around a little bit. And but she'd sit at that piano and play for us, and we'd laugh and sing and have lots of fun. And one of her very favorite songs that she would play was an old song that we all know called "I'll Fly Away." So that's going to be our old hymn for the day today. Feel Feel free to sing along if you want to. I'm going to see if this thing's in tune. This is my old shop guitar I told you about yesterday, the very first one I ever bought. It's in tune enough. Some glad morning when this life is o'er, I'll fly away to a home on God's celestial shore. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. When the shadows of this life have grown, I'll fly away. Like a bird from prison bars has flown, I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. Oh, how blessed and happy when we meet. I'll fly away. No more cold iron shackles on my feet. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. Just a few more weary days and then I'll fly away to a land where joy should never end. I'll fly away. I'll fly away, oh glory. I'll fly away. When I die, hallelujah, by and by, I'll fly away. Hey, there's your old hymn for the day, in case you wanted to sing along with one. You know, when I was a kid, I went to church with my mom and dad, a church that most of my family goes through, and that church put a high value on a cappella singing. And they gave me a rich love of vocal music. I play all kinds of music now, still sing some a cappella stuff, and do a lot of folk and bluegrass and old country and classics and gospel and all kinds of different places. So I have a lot of fun. So many fun musical friends that I have I get to spend time with because of that. So I hope you have some hobbies and some people that you're keeping in touch with during this downtime and time that you might be stuck at home. I just learned a lot of stuff, and I remember when I was a kid sitting next to Ernest in church. He was an old bass guy, a guy that sang bass, and I would sit next to him and sing bass an octave up from where he was. But I learned the intervals and how to move around on the bass part. And then I learned a lot from my friend Tim. He used to lead worship singing at our church when I was a kid, and he was one of the best singers around, still is. And now I play a little bluegrass with him, and he's on a show that we produce a few times a year. He plays on the show with us. And about 3 years ago, he's the guy that convinced me that while my son Colin was taking guitar lessons, that I should take lessons also, or at least buy a guitar and get going. So I took his advice, bought one 3 years ago. I'm having a blast. I'm getting better. Still not the best, but getting better. So learning when you're an adult is a great thing for your mind. If you've always wanted to play an instrument or learn to do something else, pick it up and do it. Now might be a good time where you've got some spare time to think about it, to do it, and to kind of learn something new to love. Okay, one more song before we go. My son Judah, he's my youngest, and we have a middle daughter, Elsa, but Judah came home a few weeks ago and said for his choir concert at school that his teacher was teaching them old 50s tunes, and we started listening to them on our Alexa. And we learned several of them together. And he said, Dad, why can't you play this on your guitar? And I said, well, I don't know why I can't. It may not sound normal, but we've actually done it at a couple of jams, and it's kind of fun. So there's a certain part where you can add in some words. You may want to sing all of it with me, but you can add in some words, and you'll know exactly where that is. I'll nod at you when it's your turn to go. You ready? Fee, fee, fi, fi, fo, fo, fum. I smell smoke in the auditorium. Charlie Brown, Charlie Brown. Well, he's a clown, that Charlie Brown. He's gonna get caught, just you wait and see. Why's everybody always picking on me? That's him on his knees, I know that's him. From 7 come 11 down in the boy gym. Charlie Brown, Charlie Brown. Well, he's a clown, that Charlie Brown. He's gonna get caught, just you wait and see. Here. Why's everybody always picking on me? Who's always goofing in the hall? Riding on the wall? Who's always throwing spitballs to me? Yes, you, not me. He walks into the classroom cool and slow. Who calls the English teacher daddy? Oh, Charlie Brown, Charlie Brown. Well, he's a clown, that Charlie Brown. He's gonna get caught, just you wait and see. Everybody always picking on me. I hope you added in the silly words. It'll help your day go better. All right. Have a good rest of the day. Hope you're hanging in out there. Glad to hear from you on the comments. Give us a yell, and I'll see you tomorrow.